Good morning, everybody. This is video number 2. I've caught the bug. I've caught the YouTube bug. So I'm out here in my shed. It's early morning right now. It is peaceful. It is quiet, with the exception of the dawn chorus, which the birds are going nuts this morning. And I love it. I'm sitting here in my shed. I've got my cup of tea, and you'll be seeing this mug quite often. It's my Salem Witch Museum mug. This is actually the second one that I have. The first one I unfortunately dropped and it smashed into a million pieces and I was heartbroken. I know it's a mug, right? But whatever. I found another one on eBay and snatched it up immediately. Anyways, I digress. So I'm going to make a concerted effort in this video to not say a million times. I did watch my video and was told by a YouTube friend that I should perhaps maybe think about, bringing the ums down a little bit. I watched the video and I was horrified. I was absolutely horrified how many times I said So I'm going to work really hard on that. I will try. It's just my natural way of kind of filling in the blank when I'm going from thought to thought. So anyways. So my herb garden, it's not terribly big, but it is chock full of things that I've been growing. I have to admit, for the most part, I remember everything that I've planted in there. There are a few things where I'm like, what is that? And I went and I did the little rock labels, I went down to Lake Erie, to the beach, and I collected a whole bunch of beach rocks. And I loved the idea, and I got my Sharpie out and, wrote all the things in, and I left the rocks out over winter and came back, and they were just plain old rocks. Like, I just threw them in there to make it look beachy. I don't know. But some of the things I have absolutely no idea what I put in there. I'm going to take my wild guess as to what they are, but the idea behind my herb garden was to plant medicinals. I really have been wanting to get into doing home remedies. And I have done home remedies in the past. It's not something, that's completely brand new to me, but it's all been very, very simple, like, oh, have a nice chamomile tea, to calm your nerves. But the more I kind of delve into it, the more I realize that there are a lot more herbs that I can grow here that can help to support and boost my immunity. And things that I can make into poultices and balms and that I could, apply topically. So there are quite a few things. The herb bed itself is almost like a potager, I guess you'd call it, a potager bed. I said I'm so sorry. Where I have many different types of plants and flowers kind of interspersed. It looks nice. And as, my seed library grows, I'll be able to plant more herbs to replace the flowers and the annuals that I have in there. So that's what I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm just going to have a quick swig of my tea. It's kind of chilly this morning. We've been having really chilly mornings, but I keep forgetting that it's still early June and it's not, well, it's mid-June, but, we've been on lockdown here in the States since March the 13th. I'm a teacher. That's what I do for a trade, and that's basically when we stopped having school. So I guess my whole calendar is a little bit skewed because of that. But it is chilly and refreshing. We'll just call it refreshing. So I'm going to take you over to the herb garden now and kind of give you an idea of what's going on. There are areas that look a little bit rough right now, but it's still early in the season, and I still have time to make things look pretty. So come along with me, my friends. All right, I'm walking out of my shed, and I'm headed towards the herb garden. And I've got one herb that's actually within the garden itself that I want to point out, because it just, oh, look at that. This is my chamomile, can you believe that? This wintered over from last year, which, you know, the plant was just absolutely tiny, but this is ridiculous. I've never had a crop like this before, and I'm super excited about it. I had a friend over a couple weeks ago, and she's a tea drinker like me. And I was like, oh, you know, you want a cup of tea? And she's like, do you have anything herbal? So I was like, oh, I've got chamomile. I'm like, oh, let me go and harvest some for you. And she like freaked out and started laughing because I told her that I was gonna go harvest her tea from her. Oh, so anyways, that's my chamomile. It's massive. I'm loving it. And you know, I never noticed this too, that the petals stay closed. They say kind of collapsed in the early morning, and then as the sun rises, the petals will open up. That's incredible. I never knew that. Anyways, I also came out to this, my very tiny little plot of sunflowers. I know this isn't really herbs, but whatever, is being decimated by something. I mean, you can see all the stakes that I've had. Okay, these stakes all had a sunflower connected to them. And I started with, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. So 16 sunflowers. And look, they've been nibbled and eaten one by one. I'm so bummed. Ugh. I suppose I could plant more, but I don't know. Oh well, I'll get over it. So, off to the herb garden. All right, here we are. So, like I said, this is a whole mixture of things. I have vegetables, I have flowers, I've got herbs, I've got it all. So, starting from this corner, I mean, I've got some thyme kind of lodged into this little wedge here. And that I planted new this year because my thyme from last year didn't make it. And this is my lavender from last year. Oh, geez. It's looking pretty sad. Although, you know, this, I think I told you in my introductory video that this backyard is wet. Everything back here I have planted is in a raised bed of sorts because it gets really, really wet. And I know for a fact that lavender does not like to have wet feet at all. It likes good drainage. And I'm honestly surprised that any of this came back. Anywho, got some peppers in here. And along the back, amidst the weeds, I've got some bronze fennel, which will look lovely. That dark foliage just really pops against everything else. I've got some sage. I said again, I'm so sorry. Some feverfew. I got this lovely rose bush that I rescued from my school. They're tearing down a whole section of it to build a new addition. And the secretary text messaged me and she's like, take the roses, take the roses. So I got myself 4 new rose bushes, which were lovely. So I thought I'd put one in here. There are some 4 o'clocks. And I have some hyssop in here and some catnip. And this is all self-seeded catnip here. There's a lot of self-seeded catnip. We've got lemon balm, which I've never seen a plant this big before, and it's, I mean, the oil content in the leaves is outrageous. It smells amazing. So catnip right next door, and then I have my Comfrey Plants. Apologize if the quality of this video might be a little wonky because the sun is rising right now and it's super bright back here. I said again. We have this potted plant here, and these are Mediterranean herbs. So I've got, you know, rosemary and oregano and some thyme in there. And I think these are gonna do well. I put them in a pot this year so that I can bring them in, overwinter them, because for some reason, you know, I don't know if it's too cold or it is because of the moisture content in the soil, but they never come back, ever. It's really annoying. Here is a whole lot of self-seeded calendula, which I'm thrilled about. I put maybe like 4 or 5 plants in here, and well, this is what came back. There's just tons of it. Tons of it. I'm really excited about that. This big mamacita is motherwort. And there's a whole lot of things you can do with it, apparently. I have to double check on what that is, but I just love how tall it is. It's as tall as me. I'm 6'3", and it is as tall as me. And I think as being, you can see the flowers that are beginning to form. I think the bees are gonna just absolutely adore it. So this is one of those plants where I was like, yeah, the rock is clean. I have no idea, but I want to say it's valerian because I remember planting valerian here last year. So, and valerian's good for like if you want to, if you're having trouble sleeping and stuff like that. But look at these, it's beautiful. I've got some wormwood behind there. Okay, make some absinthe. Oh, I don't know. Some nigella has popped up around here. This is also self-seeding. I've got some horehound, which every time I tell my friends that name, they laugh. I don't know why. This is some savory. So I've got winter savory, and I've got summer savory down here. And that, I mean, I love cooking with that. It smells and tastes amazing. Here's some self-seeded dill. There's lots of it. I'm so excited because I'm planting some pickling cucumbers this year, so I'd like to get into that. I got some self-heal, which is kind of an overall type of, cure-all. I said again, peppermint, and this is actually spreading from this massive bed over here. Yes, I planted mint without controlling it, and now it's controlling me. Gotta love it. Some more lemon balm I've got here. Some flowers I've interspersed as well. What do we got here? Oh, candy tuft. That's gonna be nice. Oh, and I planted some yarrow over here too. It's really small though right now. But all of these things I started from seed. Where is it? There it is. Yes, I've stuck to the plastic labels, which by the way, I don't throw away my plastic labels. I use them over and over and over and over. And sometimes I'll cut them in half if I don't have enough. I've got some lovage kind of in between this lemon balm and this catnip. And this is a first for me. I've never grown this from seed. I take that back, I have grown it from seed and I've never had any success, but this is bee balm or oh my gosh, bergamot, wild bergamot. So it looks really quite happy. I'm happy. I'm very pleased about that. So that's it for that. We're gonna come back to the shed and do a little bit more talking. I have to say, I'm gonna be making a video about my veg soon. I know it all kind of looks promising from afar, but I honestly think that I was given some bad compost this year because everything is not looking very, very happy. Oh, I've got some more seedlings over here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here's some white sage. I grew this from seed. Here's some more oregano I'm growing from seed. This teeny tiny little rosemary plant. Never grown rosemary from seed. What else? Oh, and you know what? I got inspired by Vivi. St. John's wort. Yeah, so I've got some parsley in here. I've got some more chamomile. All that stuff has got to go in sometime soon. Oh, and then the last thing. This is what I love right here, because we don't really get them here. Stinging nettles. And you, my friends over at the UK, are probably like, so? Because this stuff grows all over the place. Well, it doesn't grow here. It doesn't. So I started them from seed, and they're doing really, really well. They really love this space in here. And honestly, I take stinging nettle supplements every day. The health benefits of nettle, just go ahead and Google it. It's ridiculous. Talk about a superfood. So I'm growing my own. I don't know if it will last through our winters, but I'm really hoping they will. I think they're acclimatized to zone 3. And I'm actually in zone 5B, whatever that means. So, anyways. So that's the tour of the herb garden. What I didn't show you was the massive amount of basil that I'm growing, and I totally walked past it by accident. I have them interplanted with my tomatoes because they say that planting basil with your tomatoes will actually improve and enhance the flavor of the tomatoes, and it's also a natural deterrent for critters, which from my sunflower bed you see that I definitely have my share of. I know a big problem when it comes to critters in the US, the biggest offender is deer. I don't have deer in my backyard. My backyard is completely fenced in, so thank goodness I don't have that problem. But I do get everything else. Chipmunks, rabbits, squirrels. My yard is completely surrounded by shagbark hickory trees. So this in itself is like utopia for squirrels. They just love it. There are squirrel apartments all over the place. They are all over the place. So anyways, I don't think a squirrel did that damage to my sunflowers. It's probably either a chipmunk or a rabbit. Never mind. So yes, so I have a lot of basil. I grew 2 varieties of basil this year, Italian broadleaf and Genovese. And they're doing really well. I have a potted plant on the patio, and those seem to be doing better. And I honestly think it's because of my compost. The compost in the garden, I don't know what it is. Everything's looking a little bit on the yellow side, and you see a yellow plant, and it's like, oh, too much water, not enough water, too many nutrients, not enough nutrients. And I'm like, I wish they could talk to me and tell me what was wrong with them, because I honestly don't know. It's kind of a waiting game, so we'll see. So that is it from me, and if you guys have any questions or comments that you'd like to add about any of the herbs that I'm growing, please feel free to do so in the comment section below. I'm going to be doing a kind of a building project for my next video. I got myself some lumber on the cheap, and I found these plans online, and it's going to be, I'm just building a small bench. Nothing too exciting, but I do have this little area by my back door that I've always wanted to have a bench at. So I'm going to build one, and the plans are easy enough, and I'll give you guys kind of a walkthrough on that. And from there, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm starting to write down a list. I'm a list maker. I write lists for everything. So the list is beginning to build up already. At first, when I was making the video, I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I've got everything in the ground, and, well, I'm going to be doing a tour. I'm going to give weekly tours. That can grow old after a while, I think, if that's the only thing that I'm giving. There's not much content there. Look at my eggplant. Sorry, aubergine. So anyways, that's it for me. Thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And I'm really, really excited about this new venture. And like I said, I'm really excited to be meeting all of you. And I really hope that you all have a fabulous day. Enjoy the beautiful weather if you have it. If you don't, make yourself a cup of tea and enjoy the rain, because I know a lot of you over in the UK especially has had quite the deficit of rain this year. I would gladly trade some of my moisture to your garden. I've got more than enough for everybody. So that's it from me, and I hope to see you guys really, really soon. Take care.